she live here? Oh, well. Our lady. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We're worried about the butter now. I've been thinking about it. I drove by one, but I can't see it. Let me know. This time? This time? The call means this means the order. And a roll call, please. Here. 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 Now the invocation by Commissioner Sanchez and pledge of allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we just want to thank you for today, for your presence in our lives. We're especially grateful and thankful, Lord, for this city, all of its employees, all the ones that make this city function in a way that is good and pleasing to you and to its citizens. We want to thank you, Lord, for the hard work that everyone does to keep this city going. Father, as we move forward, we ask that you would help each one of us, even though there may be differences, but that we may put our differences aside and work together as a team. But we are a team in this city. You have done so much for us, Lord, and we just appreciate it so much. So we thank you again for each one, all their efforts, and we just ask you to bless them, even tonight. In the name of Jesus, we just pray.
Amen.
We're going to say the pledge, and then you remain standing, please. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico,
Thank you, Commissioner. I noticed half the room was quiet. Wait, turn it red, James. All right. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Second.
We have a second. We need to take a minute to look over the agenda. Everybody good with it? Okay, we'll take a vote. All in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion with consideration of regular business of April 25th, 2016.
I'll second.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, we'll go to commissioners and staff report. We'll start off with Commissioner Sanchez. Nothing? Okay. Commissioner Bernard.
Well, I did have some, and I want to thank everybody for coming out on cleanup days, those that were present, and even those that weren't, because I know y'all thought about us being out there. But then I also brought up a deal to change on plastic bags. You know, we wanted to bring it forth to the public to get a survey on if we really would like to keep them in the city or just have them paper bags, you know, that's just something up for discussion. And James, he knows about this, so,
Yes, Mayor, Commissioners, Commissioner Butcher did contact me and wanted to find out, do some research on the potential to ban plastic shopping bags. There's been several communities in New Mexico that have done that. So during our discussion, we thought maybe we ought to just put out an online survey and see if that's something that the public and our business owners would support.
Very good. I appreciate that. Thank you, Commissioner. Anything else from you?
that's it.
Commissioner again?
I have nothing to say.
Thanks, sir. Commissioner Trujillo?
No, thank you.
Okay. As Commissioner Butcher already mentioned, the cleanup day, we do appreciate everybody coming out and helping out. And we know everybody could not be out there for other responsibilities, but I truly believe that we should do that more than once a year. I think we hit some spots, but and going back afterwards, there's some spots that we didn't get that we should have got. So, and I'd love to be able to do that again, at least twice a year, maybe even more. But I'd also like to thank Evelyn Olguin for the Cinco de Mayo celebration that we had. Would you mind, Evelyn, speaking on that for a second, if you don't mind?
Sure. Hello, Evelyn with the EDC. Wanted to give you a brief rundown of what happened this weekend. We had our Cinco de Mayo celebration downtown. We raised over $9,000 in sponsorships for that event. Even though the economy's down, companies were still willing to donate to make that event possible. There was more people this year than what there was last year, and last year we had over 2,500 people. A lot of people, especially at night when all the live entertainment was there. A lot of people. We had 26 vendor booths, 5 asado participants in our cook-off. James was one of our judges, and he thought it was hot.
That's why he's still red.
Yeah, the very first one that we gave him was super hot, super hot. He said it wasn't hot, but he was red, so we know it was hot.
Okay.
But it was a very good turnout. I also wanted to say thank you to the city of Lovington. Dennis, Wyatt took sandbags out there, took trash cans, made sure they were picked up the following day. It was a very, very successful event. And thank you for everyone that participated and was there to support our event.
Well, I want to thank you, Evelyn,
Thank you.
publicly, because I know you were out there, you prepared for weeks before that, and you were out there all day long, and even up to what, like 3 in the morning cleaning up? So,
Yeah, 3.
and we appreciate you and all the staff of the EDC, the board, and everybody that was involved. Appreciate
Thank you.
If there's no further comments from the commissioner, yes, sir.
I did have something up and down,
Okay.
but I do want to thank all of the ones that sponsored when we went to clean up, those that bought hamburgers, hot dogs, and everyone that contributed something. We want to thank each one of you, and thank our chief and the rest of the guys that cooked for us. It was great, and we really appreciate y'all very much.
That's another reason we want to do it more than once a year.
Yeah. Cheap to work.
Okay. Staff. Gary?
Your mayor and commission, I have nothing to report.
Very good. Ms. Juarez? Carol Ann? Chief Rodriguez?
Just brief, to give you a heads up, the evidence lobby and the PD, we have started working on the foundation for the modular building. It's going to be set up there hopefully by the end of the month. It should be up there. Also, the same thing with the shooting range. We were able to get 2 of those trailers. So the excavation, the city provided a couple of workers to move that dirt for us, and also the footing is in place for that as well. We're just waiting for the approval to get those trailers moved.
Very good. What about the mobile data terminals in the units?
I called last week before I went to Albuquerque, and we still have not heard back from the state, so that's all we were waiting for.
What's the state supposed to get back with them about?
The application was actually done through the emergency management
Okay.
of the county, so they submitted the application, and they would just wait to get approval from them.
Okay. Very good. Anything else, Chief?
That's it.
All right. Thank you. James?
Nothing, sir.
Okay. Patrick?
Nothing.
Really? Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all. All right, we'll go into the non-action items. First item of discussion, Drylands Brewing Company presentation. James?
Mayor Commissioners, the Drylands Brewing Company, they sent over some of the architectural renderings for the new pizzeria and brewing company in downtown. There we go. So this is just the exterior. This is actually going to be Main Street. So we see a brick combination, more modern looking metal structure. More of an aerial view. It does have drive-through for the pizza portion of the restaurant, just the pizza, yes, sir. And of course, parking to the south and also to the rear of the facility. Another view, you can see the outdoor dining area, covered patio. The trees will be a nice addition as well in the downtown area. You see quite a bit of square footage as far as seating. Small area for the kitchen, as well as the brewing operation. So it's they should be finalizing these drawings, and unless the commission has any concerns about the look, that is one of the contingencies that we have in that sale, is that we have to approve the renderings if there's anything that we may feel conflict with the downtown area. Yes, sir.
Have they given us the price on what's on?
The total price for the project? No, sir.
Yeah,
No, sir.
we're not gonna pay for it.
No, sir. Actually, one of the first items on the agenda tonight, that's just to assist with the purchase of the brewing component of it. It's not the full price of the brewing equipment, but yes, sir.
With the conference room.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty good.
But Texas is on Jefferson Street.
Yes.
Are they looking to have anything besides pizza initially, or, you know?
For right now, going back, I believe they're going to start out with pizza, and really it would just depend on the market. There may be a demand for other smaller, appetizers and pub type foods as well. But I believe their main focus is just going to be the brick oven pizza.
Looks nice. Any other questions, Commissioners? All right. Next non-action item, discussion of the 2016-2017 budget. James.
Mayor Commissioners, if you recall at our last discussion, we did have a request from Mr. Harris from the Lee County Museum to help offset some of the loss of the funding that they did not receive from the county to the tune of $20,000. He did ask that the commission consider this. Right now, we will be approving the budget at the May 23rd meeting. So we will discuss it, and also this will be an action item at your next meeting. But if you did want to include an additional $20,000, it will affect the general fund reserve. Since this is a general fund operation, it would drop our reserves below 40% to make that kind of an increase. One of the next items that we have, of course, we were going to be, this is our proposed budget with no other changes that we have right now. As you can see with our four major funds, the general fund, the solid waste fund, our water and sewer and ambulance. The general fund, we will end this year with a cash balance of $4.4 million, leaving our reserve at 41.4%. This takes into account the decreased revenues as well. With what we have planned for the 2016-17 budget, we would end the year with a $4 million cash balance, and it would bring our reserve to 40.06%. Now, one thing to note is we see this net change up here of $1.2 million. That's due to the decrease in revenues, but we also have some about $800,000 in capital expenditures. Of course, one of those is the $400,000 transfer to the county, amongst some other expenses that we had. One thing that Gary really wanted to mention was we did have that one transfer in of $626,000 from the saltwater disposal fund, which that's a one-time transfer. That all funds and proceeds from that saltwater disposal now going into the general fund, and that's taken into account. The one issue that we did receive direction from was the retiree health care. And we narrowed it down to 3 options, if it will stay still. Of course, we have the New Mexico Retiree Healthcare Authority. We did receive additional information on that. And then an age and service-based benefit, depending upon if it's going to be from our standard insurance we have now or a portion of supplemental insurance. So with the Healthcare Authority, this is a plan that several communities, Lee County participates in, the city of Unison, different municipalities throughout the state. We would start contributions for general or non-public safety employees. The city would provide a 2% match, and the employee would match that with 1% for their entire career. With public safety, it's a 2.5 to 1.25 match. However, one thing that we did discover is that you do have to be in PERA or the Educational Retirement Board. So some of our employees that when we did switch over to PERA elected to remain with the Emeritus now, or Union Central pension plan, they would not be eligible. There is a vesting period as well. You have to be in this plan for 5 years. As far as how this works, the benefit at the end is if you are under age 65 with 20 years of service, you would receive a 64% subsidy on your health insurance, which right now they have a mixture of plans for Medicare plans, but they also have United Healthcare and several other types of HMO or PPO plans. In 2020, it will increase. If you're 55 years of age with 25 years of service, you'll receive that subsidy. So the premiums range. You can actually select what plan you want. For a single employee, it's $175 to $326 per month, and that's post-retirement. So there is a cost to the employee post-retirement. It is reduced though. Of course, if you're married, it's anywhere from $332 to $516, and those are the current rates. So when we look at the Healthcare Authority cost and the impact, we would be looking at with this 2% match for your non-public safety employees, and then including the 2.5%, a cost of over $118,000 annually. So what this would do, if you look down on the bottom, I don't want to line here, but if we were to implement this in this next fiscal year, this would actually drop our general fund reserve down to 38.6%. It would affect some of our other funds, such as our solid waste, our water and sewer. One thing, the water and sewer fund is a restricted fund. We can't transfer that into the general fund. That can only be used for those employees in the water and sewer departments and for operations of that, so you can't make that transfer out of that fund. With the age and service-based retirement, one thing that we, after the discussions during the work session, we looked at, okay, you have an employee who's age 60, they're eligible to retire, whether or not they're in PERA or if they're in a regular pension plan. But age 60 with 25 years of service, we would pay either 85% of the current plan for no more than 7 years, or 85% of the Medicare supplement for 7 years. By the time they're age 67, they should be eligible for full Medicare. So our current plan, these are what we really only have right now. After July 1st, we would have 4 employees that would be eligible to meet those, or as far as meeting those requirements with age and service. So with the annual cost for the current United Healthcare plan that we have, we would be looking at a annual cost of at least $30,000 a year. And over 7 years, we calculated about a 3% increase. We've been very fortunate up until this year. This is the first time we've had an increase, and it was 2%. Now it's 1%. But you can see it's roughly $30,000 to $36,000 over 7 years. And then another aspect, all of these employees are actually general fund employees. So when we look at the Medicare supplement, it's pretty static. We're looking at it's $300 a month, but 85% of that, we're looking at about $15,000 a year as a reoccurring annual cost. As far as what this does to our budget, as far as the general fund reserve, with the United Healthcare plan paying 85%, it would drop our reserve down below 39.5%. And of course, the Medicare supplement plan, it would be 39.8%.
So, on all these policies right here, none of them will, you could where you could just pay half or anything? Is there any type of structure in that form? Instead of paying 85%, it would drop down to 60% or 50%?
Yes, you
Something
could, but it would have an impact well, with this particular, yes, you could drop that down, but it still would have that impact. Our numbers are still about the same, where if we, to maintain that, we only have about a $4,500
Difference.
error or margin before we would drop below 40%.
And the 40% reserve is set by resolution.
Yes, sir. It's policy set by the commission.
And in that 7 years, how many more people would, on the 4 that we have now, how many more people would join in that next 7 years?
Going through, we wouldn't have any. We looked at that, and we do have employees who would meet the age requirement, but they don't meet the service requirement. So to kind of wrap up the retiree health care, though, really, as far as the pros, it does assist the employee. It really does. It benefits, whether it's through the 85% match or if it's through the healthcare authority. It does assist those employees with deferring the cost of healthcare for their term of service that they've spent with the city. As far as why not, there is a high cost. It does cost quite a bit. We also, there are, I guess you would say, hidden costs. GASB 45 is a accounting requirement which would add about $5,000 to our audit costs, and then we would also have to, we would have actuarial costs as well, to the tune of about $10,000 a year. So we really are needing direction from the commission as far as what we would like us to proceed with.
Before we go there, from my understanding, police will never be able to benefit from this, is that correct?
I don't know how many officers we would actually, if we went with the 85% plan, an 85% plan, I would say no. The majority of our employees that we have are between 25 and 30, regardless if they're in public safety or not. And they're in the PERA plan. Doing a healthcare authority plan, that would be perfect for them because they would be able to actually start receiving those benefits.
They would have to contribute. That would be
Correct. That would be the
Besides
2% the city provides and the 1% match that the employee provides during their length of service.
and that would be optional.
But to answer the mayor's question, no.
And far?
Simply the same way.
Okay. I think it's a great idea. The only problem I see is that the current economic climate, that's my concern. So I don't know how the rest of you feel.
But you said it only affects 4 employees, and that,
The 85% does, yes, sir, on the 60 years and 25 years of service.
Any other discussion, Commissioners?
can you just, on our next meeting, can you just put the 3 options down, the cost, and see if we get A, B, or C? We either choose A, B, C, or none?
Sure.
That'd be perfect, and we go from there.
Can you go back a screen again?
Sure.
For 2. Right there.
Well, this is not as expensive as I thought it was. It's really
With only 4 people going out at a time, it's gonna give us some leeway anyway.
Maybe getting all the employees and see what they think, what would be better for them.
I think the long-term effect, it looks pretty good on the short term, but in the long term, I think it would really bite us.
Because the new employees are pretty much tapping into the ERA, right? Is that the way they're doing, pretty much majority?
Yes, sir. Anybody after July 1st of 2014, they have to go with the ERA.
Okay, so we're only subsidizing the ones that are not in ERA. See, so they would eventually fade out, is what I'm saying. It would be it's gonna be a short term, not a long term.
And correct me if I'm wrong, James, but if you, like Commissioner Sanchez suggested, if we put this out to the employees, I mean, they probably wouldn't go for it because it's not going to benefit them hardly at all. Am I correct? We're just talking about 4 employees that have been here 30 plus years that it would benefit.
I really don't know. I would like to see it, but I don't know about our average employee, I guess you would say, as far as their years of service and their age. It would be really easy for us to find that out and report back to commission at the next meeting.
Might even be interested in hearing from the public as well. I think they should have a say so in it as well, especially when we're talking about dividend reserves. What do you guys think?
I'm open for it. But I do understand the current, situation, the economic part of it right now, but this is something I would like to see.
After Wyatt Duncan, Public Works Director, City of Lovington, working with the city, trying to put together a plan, working on the personnel board, contacted the New Mexico Retiree Healthcare Authority, and it was brought up in meetings as far as the 2%, as far as the city and the 1%. And I brought it up to actually, as James said, that we have the younger generation that's the age of 25 to 35. And honestly, if looking at it, if we offered it to the younger employee, as far as you guys are gonna put in 1% to this New Mexico Retiree Health Authority, I honestly think that they would rather take a raise and not even go with the retiree. But that's my opinion, and it hasn't. It would probably be, just like James said, very easy for us to put out a memo and for each department head to see if they would be interested in it as far as getting some kind of retiree benefit.
Thank you, Wyatt. Appreciate that. Maybe we could do a survey monkey, is that what you call it? James? Commissioner Gandy, yes, sir.
You get stuck with a double dilemma here. Where do you spend your money, where do you put your mouth? Because if you spend it on the raise, it has a long-term effect. If you spend it on the retirement, there's a short-term effect. But then, further down the road, as more people continue to stay and stay on there, that benefit and effect has a larger and larger impact to the city's finances. So you're kind of stuck with a turned-down economy, either not giving a raise or not giving insurance, kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. And unfortunately for me, I don't think either one of the decisions is a wise decision, because they're both going to cost you on the long term. The expenses are going to continue to go up. Maybe we can give a raise somewhere down the road, but at the time being, like you said, with the younger generation, they don't want the money in their hand right now. As we've all gotten older, we've learned that the benefits are far outweigh what we've had in our hand before. So,
Well, I appreciate that. I think it's a great idea. But the only question is, the problem is that we have to dip into reserves, and that's set by city resolution. But that's why I want to hear from the employees, the public. Yes, Commissioner.
On that, would they be vetted after 10 years, maybe? Will they, we're going to get so much, even if they leave, because they served 10 years.
No, it's a 30-year.
Are you talking about para? Are you talking about para, Commissioner?
Well, I'm talking about if they stayed and wanted to retire with us, in whatever manner they choose. Say like you're talking about the young ones, that probably don't make that much now, but if they stay, they would probably be better off because of their service time, where they would say, well, we got so much in it already after 10 years. Would they, if they were to leave, would they still get say like a pension from the city for those 10 years?
With, your average employee who is now in PERA, no. If they only work for the city for 10 years, no. They're in a 25-year plan. So they have to actually earn 25 years of service credit. Now, that could work if we had an employee who came in and worked 15 years for another entity who's making PERA contributions, and then they moved to Lovington and worked. They could retire after earning 10 more years of service credit.
I think the school has something like that where if you were there for 5 years and you left your money in there, then when you come to retirement, then you would get a check every month, whatever it was.
Right. PERA is the state retirement plan, so yes, it's very similar to the ERA.
Any other discussion?
I was just gonna say, maybe we could actually, those that are up for retirement, if you could just kind of grandfather and offer them a one-time deal if they're willing to go and take it, on, you said there's what, 4 up for retirement? That would be a solution to, not, and if it came around in the future, who else knows? The next commission might decide, well, hey, we want to give everybody that. But it is something, if you worked here at the city all those years, you're gonna walk away with something. And it wouldn't be that tough on the city, I don't think. I know our reserves are 40% and this and that. But offer them a one-time, grandfather them in, let them retire, move on. That's my opinion, but that's what I think about it.
I think hearing from the employees and the public is probably a good tool to have in place because it is your money that we're contemplating here. So you guys are okay with that? We'll see if we can obtain that. You guys all right with that?
Yeah.
You okay with that? James? Gary?
If I may, just to be real clear about things, obviously if we offer retirement for one group of employees, we should be offering it for all employees. Same thing with the health care. We offer it for it all. So in reality, our initial cost would be in excess of $150,000 a year because we would want to provide health insurance for all, not just a select group. I just wanted to clarify that for you.
That's true.
And also, stepping back, we have to make this decision for the next meeting in order to meet the deadline, so we can have them options changed.
Okay. No further discussion? Thank you, James, Gary. All right, we'll move on to action items. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to consider approval of ordinance number 542, approval of a project participating agreement between the city of Lovington and the Drylands Brewing Company.
I'll second it.
We have a second. James?
Mayor and Commissioners, this ordinance has been advertised as required, and this will provide assistance from the LEDA fund for $80,000 to the Drylands Brewing Company for the assistance in purchasing the brewing equipment to be operated in Lovington. This does have clawback provisions that they will have to create at least 5 full-time positions. Will be tracked through the Department of Workforce Solutions. They have to maintain that at least for 3 years. In the event that they fail to do that, the equipment reverts and the $80,000 reverts back to the city as well. If approved tonight, we would still have to wait 30 days before the project participation agreement will be signed.
Okay. Any discussion? All right, we'll take it to a vote. All in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain another motion.
I'd like to make a motion of approval to advertise ordinance number 543, 2016, uniform traffic ordinance amendment.
I'll second that.
We have a second. James?
Mayor Commissioners, every year they update through the legislature the uniform traffic code, and this ordinance will be advertised and brought back to you in June for adoption to just update our traffic code. The major changes are just dealing with off-highway vehicle use on roadways, streets.
Any changes in DWI enforcement, penalties, anything like that? Nothing major? Okay. Any other discussion? All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion we consider resolution 2016-29, authorization and memorandum of agreement between the Lee County, City of Lovington, City of Hobbs, City of Eunice, City of Jow, and the Town of Tatum for the operation and maintenance of a P25 800, what is that, megawatts?
Megahertz.
Radio system.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. James?
Mayor, Commissioners, this agreement has been brought forth for discussion to the Commission twice, and there were no changes being made. This simply is identifying who's the ultimate point of contact for our 800 megahertz system, which we are now fully switched over to the P25, and also for providing maintenance and cost sharing. This has been budgeted in the 16-17 budget for $27,750. And Angela Martinez, the director for the Communications Authority, is here to answer any questions that we may not know the answers to.
Commissioners, any questions? No? All right. We'll take it to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain another motion.
I can make a motion for resolution 2016-30, approval of street closure permit for 7th annual Smoking on the Plaza, June 17th through 19th of 2016.
And we have a second from Commissioner Sanchez. Very good. James?
Mayor and Commissioners, are one of my favorite events, and no, not just because it deals with food. Smoking on the Plaza, it's the seventh year. So they have requested, of course, because of the location, we do need to bring this to the commission, but they requested closures of those streets on the for that weekend. They would close Washington from Main Street all the way to East Street, and then Love Street between Central and Washington, and then a portion of Central. They want to make sure that we have access to the theater left open, since that will be the business that one of the businesses that will be impacted because they operate on the weekend and also after hours, but all the way over to East Street as well.
How are we doing on vendors? Are we having like the same as last year, more, less?
We're hoping to have more.
Come on up, Tim. We can't hear you, see you back there.
I think you can hear me. Maybe not see me. We're hoping to have more vendors this year. I already have about 10 or 15 signed up right now. We're also hoping to have more contestants, but it's kind of, everybody waits till the last minute. I'm not sure what that's about, but today I was contacted by a man that has a trackless train that he's going to have operating for the kids, which is going to be really cool. And we're still looking for an inflatable vendor for the kids zone. But we're hoping to have a really kid-friendly event as usual. And we have face painters and stuff like that too.
Vendors wise, ever compared to last year, or the last few years? Are we on track?
Yeah.
Competitive.
Are you talking about contestants or vendors?
Both.
Hopefully more of both. Like I said, I have about 10 vendors already signed up, but several others have called and said, of course I'm coming, I always come, and bringing my friends. So it's kind of hard to tell until it gets closer, but I think it'll be big again.
And competitors, same thing?
Do what?
Competitors also?
Yep. Yes, sir. We're doing things a little bit differently as far as the layout this year, just to try to make the logistics a little bit easier for everyone involved. Last year we discovered that having people on either side of the street plus in the middle, made it really hard for people that were already set up in the middle if somebody came late and was assigned to a spot on the side. So this year we will not have any camps set up in the middle of the street on Central. And any food contestants that are also vendors, we're gonna try to put them on Love so that the public knows which contestants are also selling food, because that's been kind of confusing in the past as well, because not all of the contestants want to sell and the public comes wanting barbecue, so. And then all of the other vendors are gonna be on Washington. The kids zone will be also on Washington, but on the courthouse lawn. And then the stage is actually going to be in the intersection of Love and Central this year, in front of the museum, facing this direction, so that we can take advantage more of the courthouse lawn seating area, and that way it's also more visible from Main Street.
Very good. If you still need judges, get with us later.
Okay. Chief Rodriguez is in charge of the judges, so hit him up.
Thank you, Tabitha. All right, let's take it to the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion.
Permit for live and live concert series 2016-2016.
Second.
We have a second. Commissioner Trujillo. James.
Mayor Commissioners, the concert series also hosted by Lovington Main Street. They are requesting closure of a portion of Central between the theater and East Street, and also Love Street from Washington down to Central as well. And that will take place on July 16th.
Where's the actual band going to take, or stage going to be set at?
Tabitha, are you going to set the stage up there
Yes,
the
ma'am.
same way, smoking right here, facing that direction?
Okay. All right, very good. Any other discussion, commissioners? All right, let's take it to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain another motion.
I'd like to make a motion to consider resolution 2016-32, disposal and transfer of surplus equipment to the Columbus Fire Department and Bowles Acres Fire Department, or Fire and Rescue.
We have a second. James.
Mayor Commissioners, every year they have what's called the New Mexico State EMS Local Systems Improvement Grant Program. It's where different services throughout New Mexico apply for funding for special equipment. In this particular case, the fire department has some surplus defibrillators which are serviceable and can be used by some smaller departments that don't need a brand new unit. So the state had asked if we could possibly transfer that equipment. That way the $500,000 can actually be stretched a little bit further across the state.
All right, very good. Any further discussion? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain another motion.
Make a motion for resolution 2016-33, the SERTPO policy and technical committee appointments.
Second.
We have a second. James.
Mayor Commissioners, the SERPTA, or the Southeast Regional Transportation Planning Organization, every year we have to reappoint an individual or individuals to the Policy Technical Committee. On your summary, it lists the duties of the Policy Committee. This is the actual voting member. This is a position that I have held. Also, we have the Technical Committee representative. This is a position that I've held as well. What I am recommending is that we appoint our Public Works Director to the Technical Committee, and if the Commission desires to reappoint me to the Policy Committee as well.
Any issues with that? Commissioner, everybody okay with that? We're good with that, James, and thank you, Wyatt, for volunteering.
I guess guess he wasn't born, wasn't he?
Thank you, Wyatt. Appreciate that. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. I'll entertain another motion.
Make the motion to consider resolution 2016-34, approval of a street closure permit for Relay for Life, June 4, 2016.
Second.
We have a second, James.
Yes, Mayor and Commissioners, our Relay for Life committee has requested the street closure that moved this event downtown over the past couple of years. And what they have requested is the closure of Washington from Main Street to Love Street from Washington to Central, or Central from Main Street to Love Street as well. The only thing we may want to consider is leaving a small gap in front of the theater, since they will be operating during that event as well. And we have presented the resolution written that way, but it should not really affect our pedestrian traffic. But worthwhile event, and it's another draw to the downtown area to raise some money for a good cause.
They walk all the way around the courthouse, is that correct? Yes. Okay. All right, very good. Any discussion? Very good. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to consider resolution 216-35, approve the street closure permit for drama outlet June 10th to 11/26/2016.
Second.
We have a second. James.
Mayor Commissioners, this is another event similar as far as closures, June 10th and 11th, for a event in which they will be putting on different programs. It's actually hosted by, let me pull this up. Hobbs First Assembly is going to be making presentations. They'll have music, they'll have skits down there, but want to walk off the same areas, similar to the Relay for Life plan.
Yeah, the only, once you review the site plan on that, I brought up a question to James or an issue. They don't specify exactly why they're wanting Central and Washington closed down, when their site plan specifically says Love Street from Washington to Central. That is my only big concern. If they're not going to have anything going on in those two areas, we really need to close it. Other than that, I don't have an issue with that part of Love Street.
If we approve this resolution, though, you can work out those details with them, is that correct? All right, appreciate that. All right, any other discussion? Okay.
But just basically, I was just going to say that.
Would you just identify your name? Identify yourself?
Excuse me?
Would you just identify yourself?
Oh, my name is David Soto, and I'm the one that's putting on the event. And I just basically wanted to say that we're not going to have it on Saturday. One of the drama teams couldn't make it because they're way up there in New Jersey, and they're not going to be able to actually make the trip. But we were just going to use it for Friday. And the street closure that you suggested would be fine. We were just kind of concerned that we didn't want anybody, getting, ran over or anything like that. So, but whatever suggested area you think, that would be fine with us. Definitely the Love Street area where, I don't have a pointer or anything, but I can put it on my finger. Like right here and here would be great. We wanted to put our stage right in here, because I like that open space that's across the street. If it's still open by then.
What exactly does this involve?
It's just it's like a regular church service, but we're gonna have like a drama team that they're gonna present a visual image. A picture's worth 1,000 words. So, it'll be a message of hope. As you know, there's a lot of, just from reading the newspapers, a lot of suicide, a lot of things like that. So, we're trying to have a positive message. The hope is that some of these young people that come to this, and maybe some families, might get involved with some of these groups where they can have some of these other people have a positive impact on them. I think that's the whole goal of this, is to try to, outreach, try to bring them into a different place where they could say, you know what, there is something a little better out there than just, thinking of, doing something bad or, So I think that's the whole thing behind this. We're gonna have some rap music out there too. As you know, some of our kids are focused in on the rap. We're gonna have some testimonies too of guys that have lived a really hard life, and they've made a big 360-degree turn, and, just to basically try to outreach our young people, I've worked with young people in Phoenix, Arizona I was a chaplain for the prison over there for 13 years, and I've seen it from both sides. I've seen it from the inside, and I've seen it from the outside, and we've got a big burden for youth and for families, so that's the reason for this. It's just a starter, just an event that we want to, try to see what happens and try to reach some of these youth.
I appreciate you doing that for our community.
I was born and raised here, so coming back to Lovington, I want to utilize some of the tools that I've learned being away from Lovington, and just coming back and seeing some of the things that's going on, some of the young people around here, and it's just it burdens me. So I just that's why I want to start doing things like this to outreach.
You doing a lot of advertising as well?
We're going to start promoting. We didn't want to start advertising until we knew for sure that we could have the spot. And then after that, we can start promoting, because now we know where the event's going to take place and everything. So,
Well, let's find out.
all right. Thank you.
Dave, one thing I'd like to suggest or recommend is that the plaza's designed for something about what you're looking at with utility hookups and so forth. Depending on what type of amperage you're going to have for your stuff, but we designed it for that purpose, to where you can hook up to any light pole and so forth. So you might walk it out, see if that might accommodate you, versus putting it on Love Street, because we designed it as a plaza for that size of event. And
Which is the plaza? I'm not even familiar.
That central layout, right there in front of the theater. Right there.
Oh, okay.
And we can easily close that off and so forth. And like I said, all the light poles have utility hookups where you can put connect electricity to, so you don't have to have generators or nothing like that.
And we're probably going to need generator, just simply because we're going to have a pretty heavy sound system. Yeah, it'll be pushing a lot of amperage, and the light pole might not work out. It would be kind of disastrous. My first event, we're never going back to that event again.
We could turn them into strobe lights.
Yeah. Partial music and a little bit of lights turning off and on, and I'll have to get creative up there.
Yeah.
It's part of the drama.
We wish you well, Dave.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot.
Any other discussion? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain another motion.
Make the motion, consider approval of council bill.
Second.
We have a second. Garrett.
If I may, Your Honor, Commission, the largest expense that we have this particular round is to Lee County Electric, $21,698 for us. And then another item of interest is that the Lee County Board of Commission, we're making, I believe it's our third payment for the communications tower. And I just want to report that we're staying under the $150,000 so far. I haven't heard any report that it would go above that.
Very good.
So this third payment was $3,477.82. We just paid. Any other questions?
Any other questions, Commissioner? Anybody else? James, anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, now it's time for public comment, and if you would, just remember, we're keeping it about 3 minutes per person, so you're welcome to come up and speak to the commission. Yes, sir.
I apologize for not making it to the, presentation. A few questions that.
Identify yourself, please.
Oh, Andres Arriola,
Very good, thank you.
chiropractor here in Lovington, building the brewery. So on Mondays, I had somebody come in late and was in bad shape. Show up a little late. I apologize, James, for taking the heat. So I'm here for any questions that you guys have.
I had a good question to James. We were just curious. Are you going to offer, or is that, you're looking at?
If we can get a good chef, in there that can utilize that brick oven, because we'll have that brick oven, like hopefully, we hope to incorporate maybe some brunch on weekends, like Saturday and Sunday. You go to Lubbock, I mean, there's restaurants that offer brunch that have, just the other day, a couple weeks ago, we went to a place in Lubbock off of 34th and Slide, and they called themselves a gastropub. Gastro meaning, stomach. So it's gastrically pleasing, and we're hoping to do something that, similar to that here. So that day, I actually had fried chicken with 2 eggs, bacon, cheese, with a donut, a glazed donut, and with syrup on top. I mean, things like that,
That's a cardio risk.
I call it,
Cardiovascular problem.
yeah, exactly. But we want to have a chef that will bring that to the area, on the weekends at least, maybe Saturday, Sunday after church, But usually, I mean, it's really, we'll start off with the brick oven pizza. And if you ask anybody that's eaten brick oven pizza, I mean, you can't beat brick oven pizza, especially with the root beer or a beer.
How about live music? Looking at that down the road?
We have a big patio that we're hoping to use for, outside entertainment, have somebody out there just strumming the guitar. Somebody wants to, have amateur night on, Wednesdays, just somebody go out there and just play with the guitar. We want the community to, be drawn to that area. Family, kids running around. So we have a space designated for cornhole. Just some games. Our patio is going to have the doors that have the garage doors that open up to the inside. So, and I think James had all the pictures. I sent him all the pictures. We'll have a conference room that you can rent out for private parties, retirement parties, graduation parties. So
we'll have patio, will it be bricked, or what kind of fence you gonna have?
yeah, we'll have, most of it's going to be bricked. Yeah. We don't have exactly all of the details, but we have the floor plan, the design. The only thing we're waiting on is the engineering, what faucet's going to go, where the toilets are going to go. So.
You have a target date to open? You have a target date to open?
As soon as we get the engineers to finish their paperwork, which hopefully is like in a couple of weeks, all of this is coming out of our pocket right now. So by the time this hits, once we break ground, we will probably be investing about $150,000 of our own money. So that includes the land, the engineering drawings, the architecture. Most of that's going to come out of pocket. So we're investing quite a bit of our own money to get this off the floor.
I noticed you were cleaning that Saturday morning.
Well, that lot that we bought, that last lot where the Higginbotham employees park, there's a big, just a metal cap. And we were just dumbfounded. I mean, we didn't know what it was, and we tried prying it open. We didn't do we couldn't open it up. We had somebody weld like a hitch, and we had a winch pull it out, and it's a hydraulic lift. So we got that, yeah. Because I was thinking, it's going to be a safe, and we're going to have gold down there. And, yeah. So, but yeah. But it's going to be nice. We'll make sure of that.
Very good.
So, that it? No questions?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Anybody else? Public comment? Yes,
Not
sir.
necessarily. Months in, last week, in service. It is out for display if anybody would like to come by and take a look at it out in front of the station. So I just want to invite everybody to come by and take a look at it. We're very proud of it.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate you. Anybody else? All right. Before we conclude, James, would you just kind of remind the audience to where they can go to see the meeting or future meetings in case they're not here? They can tell their friends as well, since we're live.
Yes. You can actually access it directly through the homepage, Lovington.org. There's a link that will take you straight to the YouTube channel to where you can either watch the live stream or any of the archive meetings. You can also, if you have the YouTube app on your phone, you can look up Lovington City Hall, and we'll take you to that channel as well. So I believe whenever you subscribe to a channel, it sends you updates. We did stream the youth center board meeting the other day as well. So very simple process. Chief Rodriguez is doing a good job at switching the shots, but that's how you can access that.
And the camera does also show the speaker when he's at the podium, or he or she. So y'all go home and look at yourselves also when you get home. All right.
Also make you look like a little round pigeons too.
Oh, you've already seen
You
it?
need a bigger screen, Ron, you need a bigger screen.
All right. Any other public comment? Seeing there's none, we'll call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.